a parenting and family podcast for the freaks, geeks, nerds, and weirdos, the outcasts who went on and had their own. We're used to being the exception to the rule, so come along with us as we try to also live exceptionally. We're here to help make you the best version of your freaky family. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Peace Freaks. This is episode number 112. I am Nikki P here, as always, with my lovely wife and co-host, Lizzie. How are we doing today, babe?
Fabulous.
Are you really doing fabulous, or are you just saying you're doing fabulous because we're recording it?
I mean, no, it's been a pretty awesome day. You know, I have like one day off on the average weekend, but it's been a good day off. So
I see that the little one was poking her head in, trying to watch the session.
well, you know, she loves getting her little face on the camera. So
She put her head on your shoulder.
and she is a sweetie. Look at that little face.
She is a little face. And it's bittersweet seeing her face right now because I got triggered before the episode started.
Yeah.
Someone had sent me an email, you know, and you may or may not have had Ross Ulbricht in the header. I can't even listen to or read emails like that because they make me angry.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of our guests know or have ever heard, or how many of the people listening, have ever heard of Ross Ulbricht, but it's a very sad story. He's a guy who created a piece of computer software.
Yep.
And despite what that computer software may or may not be used for, is kind of irrelevant to the fact that 200 plus 40 years, or sorry, 2 life sentences plus 40 years, is a long time to be put away for creating a piece of software.
Yeah.
He's a guy that graduated high school, I think the same year I did. And, you know, I have a nice Sunday where I spend my day with you and Irma, and it's a wonderful day, and I love everything about it.
Yeah.
And then someone mentions Ross Ulbricht, and then I get to thinking, what's that survivor's guilt?
Yeah.
In that, you know, I'm out here getting to have a life and with wonderful people in it that I love dearly. And knowing that he'll never get that, it's kind of upsetting to me.
Yeah. As things stand now, it is not available for him. It's pretty shitty.
Like, who the hell am I, you know? But, you know, not to be a Debbie Downer and started out on a Debbie Downer note. I mean, we could talk about anything, and I feel like it would be Debbie Downer note.
I mean, there's plenty of things. Yeah.
So, you know, we should talk about that is not Debbie Downer kind of stuff.
Yes.
We need to talk about books.
Okay. Let's do that.
So I've been reading, as have you, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get more people on Goodreads to talk to. It's the only social network I like. I've
Pretty much.
been nothing but much happier about life since I took Facebook off my phone. I can tell you that much right now.
It's amazing how much just crap that helps you avoid just not having it popping up in your feed.
No, it's just it's so much better about literally everything. So much better. But so what have you been reading lately? I've been packing them away since they added that included with Audible section.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. I read some G.K. Chesterton, which is always kind of weird for me because he's very, very Catholic, and, you know, very a product of his time and uses, you know, all of the terms that they used for ethnic people back then, which is always interesting. But, you know, he does have some interesting points to make about things. So that's good. And I actually read a, Redeeming Love, which is whatever her name is. It's a romance. I don't normally read a lot of fiction. I rarely ever read romances. So it was really interesting that I read that, but I read it and I enjoyed it, believe it or not. So there you go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What did I put away this week? I know I finished up. Had I finished up the Guide to the Presidents yet?
I don't know.
The politically incorrect Guide to the Presidents.
Was that good?
No, it was terrible. The guy was an idiot.
Okay.
I mean, he was a straight up like just Republican partisan
Oh, really?
who was all too happy to fellate George Bush.
Ew. Gross.
Like gave him an A minus rating as a president.
Wait, which George Bush?
I think both.
Ugh, gosh.
Oh yeah, no, it was total bullshit. Now, granted, I think that they all deserve Fs, and some deserve lower than Fs, like bullets in the head. But
Yeah.
it's neither here nor there. There's not any one of them deserved anywhere near an A.
No. That's crazy.
So that book sucked. On the other hand, Bob Murphy did the Politically Incorrect Guide to Capitalism,
Okay.
which I did actually like. It was very, very Bob Murphy, doing the kind of things Bob Murphy does.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if you've ever read any of Bob Murphy's writing.
Mm-hmm.
He's just very, he attacks things and he gets into it, and he's got a humor about him that I think is kind of charming.
Nice.
He's just a nice, charming guy.
Well, that was the thing that always got me about
The guy who did the Politically Incorrect Guide to the Presidents was not charming. He just came off as a prick.
Yeah, that's fair.
No Bob Murphy.
Okay.
I also started the second book in that Cthulhu Chronicles. This one is what is it? Sherlock Holmes and the Miskatonic Monster.
Oh, okay.
So this one's going just the same way. I think this one happens 15 years after the last one. There's 3 of them, and I think they each take place in different periods in Sherlock Holmes's career.
Yeah.
Is the idea, like separated by about from the first one to the last one, there's like 30 years separation.
Oh,
and
wow,
the middle
okay.
one's kind of equidistant between them.
Yeah.
Is the idea. They tell you, they set it up in
That's
the
kind of awesome.
prologue to all the books, kind of what's going on and where it takes place in Sherlock's life. I haven't gotten like only a couple chapters in, but it's definitely the same kind of thing, same kind of fare as the first one. But I think they're getting towards the whole weird stuff quicker because they established that we're in that world in the first book.
Yeah.
They took a little while to get into the ghosts and goblins kind of stuff, and now they're like, well, we're here, so we'll just start talking about it.
Nice.
It's going pretty well so far.
That is always a fun thing about reading a series. You get all the benefit of the previous books.
Well, and when I get done with this, then I've got a whole nother series of Cthulhu Sherlock books that another guy did.
Cool.
That'll be awesome. And after that, I got another series about this necromancer dude that some other dude did.
Yeah.
I'm excited to find fiction that I like reading again.
Nice.
I had lost hope having read that Cthulhu Country, but
yeah, it's what it is.
But I mean, and then I've still got a ton of nonfiction to look at. Real quick, before we actually get into our topic today, I did want to put out a call for all of you people out there. So if you want to be a guest on the show, you have a parenting story you want to share on a Wednesday episode, or a product or service you think other families might appreciate on a Friday episode, you can get a hold of us on social media or at peacefreaks@nickmccone.com. Also, if you got topics you want us to discuss on a Monday episode, send them our way, because we're always looking for things to talk about.
Yep.
Without further ado, we're going to get into our episode, which is, do you know what it's called, Liz?
No.
I was going to pass it right to you. and you were going to have it, and it was going to be a flawless episode.
Oh, well, we don't do flawless episodes, do we? That's not a real thing.
No, it's not, because we're parents. We're human.
Yeah.
We're weird parents to boot.
Yeah.
How many other parents give their kids Cthulhu dolls?
I don't know.
Just me. So no, this episode is going to be Does Sleep Drive You Crazy Too?
Nice.
They do not die for freedom or your security, but for these masters to rule this world. Contorted rigor mortis for those who dare to speak against and those who dare get in the way. Slain upon the altar for global domination, to teach submission to all nations, through fear united and subjugate them, make them speak subservience.
And the reason I titled it Does Sleep Drive You Crazy Too is because, so I don't know how many other parents have to deal with this, or just how many people in general. We're homeschoolers, and so one of the things that we had to do immediately was set up our entire life so that we could do that easily.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. And one of those trade-offs was that you and I don't sleep together.
Nope.
It's kind of rough a lot of times. We'll nap together or something like during the day on a weekend, but rarely do we get a chance to actually go to sleep together. Most days for us are you go to bed, what, about 6, 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
And wake up around 2 or 3 in the morning.
Something like that, yeah. And
At which point I give you a kiss and then I climb into bed so that I can be awake at 9 or 10 so I can go to work in the morning.
Right.
And that's because you actually work, I don't know, third shift, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, sure. third and a
third-ish
half.
shift, early first shift. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, something.
And then I work a kind of late first, second shift kind of deal.
Right.
It's weird.
It is weird. And it always makes it kind of special when we get to, be in the same place at the same time on the weekends or whatever. But yeah, that's the trade-off that we made, and it works. It does work. It's not easy all the time, but it does work. So,
Well, and the other thing is, like, I think even we take this all the way back. So even when we first met, like, it's interesting. When we first met, like, our relationship was literally just Netflix, nap, and chill.
yeah.
Like, you worked a lot, and so the only time I would see you would be on a weekend. So you'd get done, like, working at the hotel or whatever it was,
Right.
and then you'd shoot over, like, Uber over, whatever, and then we'd hang out for a bunch of hours. And by hanging out means we'd fuck, eat a pizza, watch some TV,
Watch some
and pass out.
cartoons. Repeat if possible.
Yeah, literally, we spent most of our time sleeping together.
Yeah.
When we first were together. And so to now, we're in a situation where, God, I don't know that I don't know, I can't really, I think after the Bill and Ted was the last time we actually slept in the same bed together. We slept on the floor together, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that was, it's whole other thing because we had the kid and didn't want to deal with the loss of space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
Well, sleep's always been a thing that we've talked. Like, I remember one time you were going through people's different sleep patterns. I have a weird sleep pattern. I don't.
Yeah.
First off, I have always been a night owl. For up to me, I would never see the sun.
Right.
Fuck that sun. The fuck's he doing up there? Other than making shit hot.
And I don't know that I really don't know what my natural sleep pattern would be, but I started doing this ridiculous weirdo shift at such an early point in my life that I'm just used to it now. I mean, it's been 10 years since the first time that I had to kind of get up at 2 or 3 in the morning and go to work regularly. So, I am sort of by default an early morning person now.
If I had that schedule, like I'd just go to home or go to sleep after work. I mean, I used to work third shift. I worked the 11 to 7 back in the day.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind. I enjoyed it just fine.
Yeah.
Certainly better than having to be up for work at 7 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I get to go home and take a nap, start my day out that way. By the time I wake up, people are ready to do stuff, and I'm like rip-roaring, ready to go, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah. But yeah, so the idea you were talking about, I got from listening to the Organized 365 podcast, which if you haven't heard of it and you're a mom and you have any interest in home organization, it's a really good one to listen to because it's this lady. She basically was a mom and a salesperson and just kind of lost control of her house, and how she got the control back was the beginning of this organizational system that she talks about, in depth. And she's real, and she's
'Cause I'm
really inspirational. So I always recommend checking out her thing. But she mentioned this book, The Power of When, which I then read, and it talks about
like you're not even gonna react to me singing some fucking J-Lo.
some J-Lo, and
Or is that J-Lo or is that Ashanti? I think it's J-Lo, right?
I don't know actually. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, because Ashanti's the other one.
Okay, maybe. But yeah, no, that's always a fun one.
Always on Time was Ashanti.
Yes, okay. Were they both what's his face?
Yeah. Murder.
Always with the crazy.
Continue though.
But yes, so The Power of When is the name of the book, and it's just about this guy came up with a bunch of different types to represent the way that people sleep. And there's the idea that you're probably the wolf type. You are a night owl. The kid might be too. And you function on a different, schedule than most of the world. And I
function on the right side of the world. They are all wrong.
That may well be, but there's a lot more of them, as again. It's usually the way that works out, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't hit perfection all the time. Only sometimes.
Yeah.
It's more than likely you get a mediocre product on average.
Yeah. And I fell into, I think, the dolphin type is the way that it came out.
I love to imagine you as a dolphin. It's hilarious.
Well, yeah, it is funny. But the idea of the type is like they're neurotic. They rarely ever like completely shut down. and they may or may not ever actually feel rested, regardless of how much sleep they get.
Yeah, no, that's definitely Liz, folks. She is never.
Generally, don't get a lot of sleep. So, yeah, I have a really difficult time shutting down just in general.
Well, what's weird for me is that I have kind of like whereas I feel like you're kind of always half asleep.
Yeah,
Like I always spend all of my time half awake.
yeah.
Like even if I am like asleep, like, I don't know how many other people have this, but I basically only lucid dream.
Which is cool, I guess.
So you can take your take that time and like live a whole nother life in your dreams, I suppose. You get to accomplish a lot more, perhaps.
Oh no, and when I was a teenager, I used to do that. That was like a pastime of mine. Just like, okay, well, I hate my life as it is, so let me just dream up something cooler and like stay there for the next 12 hours.
Well, I'd like to dream of things that are terrifying.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna say, but your approach to it is a little bit more dark and horrifying. I don't know that I'd have any interest in doing
You
it.
can have that someday. We'll talk about the fish people, that dream.
Yeah, that's some stuff.
Or what was it? What was the one I was having the other day that was a really, really fun one?
I don't know. You were expressing the idea that you were having some pretty intense dreams, but I don't know that you felt at liberty to discuss them at the time. So.
Oh, which ones?
Oh, I have no idea.
I like I said, I'm pretty much always doing it. So Lord knows what.
Yeah.
Anyways, so a reason we wanted to have the episode today, we wanted to bring this up, was that it feels really weird to think about the fact that we're married and we have been together for 8-9 years together.
Yeah. Something like that.
Was it 9 years in November maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
And I don't sleep with my wife. And I was like in bed together.
Yeah.
And it seems like an odd thing to say, but knowing that that's a decision that we made to kind of tackle our reality, which is that with the homeschooling, so that we could both be around for the kid at some point in the day.
Yeah.
And then also reflective of our own natural sleep patterns. It just kind of works out that way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you feel like our relationship is less for it?
I don't. I mean, if anything, I guess it gives us something to look forward to when we are, older and the kid's on her own. She's an adult, and we can have that part of our relationship that we haven't explored yet. So, yay, new frontiers. But
new frontiers, like you to discover that we don't like each other very much. Don't like sleeping with each other.
Like, oh my gosh, it's you again.
Well, I know I do snore a lot more. The weight gain has definitely not helped that any.
Well, no, but it is what it is.
Who wants to lose weight with me?
You're more cuddly. Yeah, right?
Somebody, let's try and lose some weight together. I need an accountability buddy.
There you go.
Not to be confused with a forget a buddy. Let's never forget about it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so anything else you wanted to mention about sleep? The moral of the story is, folks, you're not a weirdo if you're not like everybody else. That's the moral of every story in here is going to be, is that, hey, there's somebody out there that does shit a lot weirder than you do.
Pretty much.
And I may or may not get off on being the weird guy that does things different from everybody.
No, you
never.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, and just get freaking with me. Listen what everybody can say. Come on, baby, and just get freaking with me. Listen what everybody can say. Just one word, doesn't matter how crazy or lazy, just make it absurd. One no mistakes, just a few syllables, making sure we're pumping the brakes. Spanish or French, I speak me.
So, Liz, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's been going on in the garden this week?
All right. Well, in the garden, we have had so many tomatoes harvested. We're working our way into probably a fermented salsa, I think is where they're going to go. And
Swear to Christ, you better not ruin that fucking salsa. It
I
better
know,
be
right?
delicious because those tomatoes, there's so many of them and they look so delicious.
I know. And then, well, no, there's more. Like the ones that I'm harvesting from here on out, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna eat because they're there and they're yummy and they look delicious. And
At least we know tomatoes grow in the yard, right?
yes, we definitely have a better idea of what we can grow. We did get a squash out of our squash plant before it succumbed to some sort of fungus or something. And that was pretty much all the squash plants that we planted. Like I got some seeds from a friend and just planted them to see what would happen. And they were blossoming. They hadn't gotten to the point where they were doing female flowers. And whatever took out our summer squash just took out everything. So that's a thing that happened, and we'll have to come up with a better plan for that next year, or maybe plant them earlier in the season. But
Jack Spirko has something he was talking about the other day that I'm interested to try.
Okay, yeah. He's definitely a really knowledgeable guy, so I would take his advice for sure. And then just trying to put more of our winter stuff out, more peas, more lettuce. The kale's still going, and actually, I'm gonna be honest. I've kind of been being a little bitch about getting the seeds for winter sowing. I need to get that going.
Yeah, we just put out another one of the what do you call it? Pieces of luggage that we got.
Yeah,
For our raised luggage bed garden.
we have places to put seeds. We have our little bottle greenhouses that we're going to use for starting our seeds, so we can actually have plant starts by the spring.
All the people over at the Good View Quarter Keybase group we're asking about it, how we think it's going to work. I'm like, well, we'll find out.
Well, and that's, those are the things that, put a fire under my butt, and, I need to stop bitching out and actually just get the seeds and stuff. So I'm ready to do this because I know there are people who are following our story and want to know how it turns out. And I want to provide that information for people. So going to get those seeds and get ready to do that. That's going to be like January. We plant those out. So that's what's going on in the garden.
Which means we got all the holidays before then, huh?
We do. But I don't know how seed companies work. I don't know if I need to get that stuff now, and then they're not going to be selling as much of whatever come January. So
I don't know. It's all new to me, lady.
Yeah.
So how about on the homeschool front? Where are we at there?
On the homeschool front, we've been reviewing kind of math and some of the things we got. We got some really basic resources to kind of dot the I's and cross the T's, but I'm also trying to find the enrichments that are going to work. So we've been on the Khan Academy website. Their first grade stuff is actually pretty appealing. They've got, some visuals, and it gamifies it enough and that it's encouraging Irma to kind of keep pushing forward with stuff. But we're just kind of making it work. We're getting through the stuff. It's fun talking to friends and seeing how they're comparing. I've got a friend who's joined a classical homeschooling co-op, and there's a lot of memorization, just kind of seeing the way the different systems work and being able to compare and contrast is useful. So been doing a lot of that lately.
Nice. I've been really, really wanting to get our money in a place where I can dive right into a couple of boxes from that Kiwi company.
Oh yeah, the delivery boxes. Well, it's super appealing to me just because, a couple of the subjects having more interactive stuff is awesome, like geography in particular.
I know Irma really wanted to get her little passports, whatever it was. And I'm like, I'd rather do the freaking Kiwi Co. It looks so much cooler. Let's build robots.
Yeah, I mean, Little Passports was awesome. We did the Early Explorers box that my mom, thanks mom, actually, gave us as a gift, and it was really awesome. We learned a ton, and it was really engaging for Irma as she was like 4 and 5, I think, when that was happening. So if you are interested in it, I can say it's a good one. But yeah, to kind of expand our horizons and see what else is out there, I think would be good.
Cool. Well, we've hit that time. So, folks, if you want to learn more about us, you want to get the show notes, or if you'd like to connect with us on any social network of your choice, we're on pretty much all of them.
Yep.
You can head over to peacefreaks.com. You can spell it like it says in the podcatcher that you're listening in, or you can spell it like freaks, like the people that we are, freaks of the industry. Bow, 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 bow. If you like the show, please hit the subscribe button in your podcatcher or wherever you're listening. Could be YouTube, whatever. If you want to help spread the word, liking and sharing on your preferred social network is huge because I don't know if you've seen it, Liz, but I'm seeing we're already getting messages from Facebook about how they're planning on cutting down on anything that could be false information, and I'm just watching my friends all get kicked off and booted for the craziest stuff lately. Going into election season, Lord knows what they're going to decide is shit that people shouldn't hear.
Right.
So if you want to do us one better, please go rate and review us on iTunes.
iTunes is still a big deal, so yeah.
I don't know why. I don't use it. Like, I use Overcast. I know way better,
Yeah.
but they don't get to review the episodes. They listen to an Overcast.
But yeah, those ratings do help us get in front of more folks just because it's iTunes. So we definitely appreciate it.
Last, if you want to donate to us, you can head over to upgradetheshow.com. If you donate, it will help offset the costs of the show. Like, we're not pocketing any of that money. Any extra is going to get poured into advertising so we can help get more people and more eyes on the show so we can have more people to be part of our little community. Also, because we're weird libertarian types, we take both fiat and crypto.
Right. So if you've got that crypto lying around,
you want to add to my Bitcoin stores, we'll be more than happy to throw some Bitcoin in there.
Mm-hmm.
As a like little bonus for those people who do want to help us out by either reviewing us or sending us a little cash, I will offer to do a shout out, Casey Kasem style, on an episode of the show. You can just email us a screenshot to peacefreaks@nickbracone.com of what you want mentioned. It could be a product. It could be a letter to your long lost love. Pretty much no matter what you send me, I'm going to read it as if it's a missed connection. And Casey Kasem's trying to facilitate the one that you let slip away.
Right. So if you want, Nick's ridiculousness added to your message, we can make that happen for you.
This is Kevin, and he's looking for Brandy. Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my wife, my love, and my lady is the sea.
There you go.
Shout out to Looking Glass, everybody. All right. I guess that's it, Liz. Anything you need to say?
No, just thanks for joining us. It's awesome to have you with us on this journey.
Goddamn right. Thank you. So
make it magical.
Peace. This podcast is a proud creation of the Mad Audio Lab. For more information, check out madaudiolab.com. Peace Freqs is part of the Liberty Hippie Podcast Network. If you like what we do, be sure to check out Homesteads and Homeschools, Free Markets Green Earth, Cannabis Heals Me, and This Week in Liberpods. We're living proof that libertarian doesn't mean washed up Republican.